This is not only applies to sweeteners, applies to all food additives. The general principle.
For food additives, low molecular weight organic chemicals and non-nutrients are not added to baby food and used for baby. This includes preservatives and everything. And the reason is that up to about 6 months of age, the metabolism, especially the renal excretory systems, which are important in elimination of many compounds, including sweeteners, are immature. And therefore, for the same exposure, they would have a higher body burden. But of course, would point out that all the approved sweeteners all the approved sweeteners have been through these 2-generation reproductive toxicity studies. So we know that, in fact, the neonatal phase of those is not more susceptible to adverse effects, because the adverse effects that drive the acceptable daily intake is usually effects seen over a lifetime, not just particularly possibly susceptible age group. So it's a general principle rather than anything specific.
When I saw that question initially, my heart sank actually. So I've got 2 answers. One is a dietitian, one is a mum of 2.
And I think that the dietitian had would say, obviously you want to wean children on to follow on milk, or then on to cows and after that, or other less cardiogenic food drinks like water or tea. But with my mum hat on, I found that absolutely impossible, because having had a child that becomes used to the sweetness of milk, we don't want water. I don't want to give them tea too much either. And so I did use diluted baby juices, but I always diluted them more so than the actual suggested on the label. And I know there's some dental colleagues out there, and my caveat was that my sister-in-law said, well, don't worry, we've got milk teeth, as long as you get them off sugar by the time their teeth drop out, you'll be fine. Which is what I managed to do. So we worked on a principle of diluting everything, and Roger used a process of reverse psychology, whereas having the remnant taste of your squash is not as refreshing. You've had your glass of squash and you want another one because you're hot and sweaty. Let's have a glass of refreshing water, which makes you feel that much more refreshed. And that worked really well. So actually my children didn't stay on juices for too long, but it is a very difficult problem. And I think also as a dietitian, you've got to look at the full diet situation. We certainly don't want cardiogenic drinks, and we don't want children suckling bottles and things when way beyond the time they should be. But equally, all drinks can contribute to a sort of dietary input. So whether it's milk, whether it's fruit juice, whether it's soup, squash, it does have a role to play. So I don't think we should get too cut up about sugary drinks, but we shouldn't be aiming that every drink is a sugary drink. Obviously, like school meal standards that come in, and organisations like School Food Trust, where there are standards set for school meals. And what schools are also trying to do is to tie up the loop and include the packed lunch brigade as part of the overall school standards. And this is where you run into slight problems, especially with primary children. And this is actually where I'd like to criticise the FSA for having such diverse schemes in order to try and teach healthy eating. So on one hand you have the sort of first past the post, the sugar content, the fat content, the saturated fat content. And obviously a fruit juice falls into that category, it will fall into red on sugars. But equally, if you look at the Eat Well plate, it comes in as one of your 5 a day because of its fruit juice content. And as such, it contributes to the whole quality of the whole diet. And for little children that perhaps can't eat a lot of fresh fruit or fresh veg because their tummies are too small to hold a large quantity, a fruit juice is an energy-dense way of getting one of their 5 a day in. So we have mixed messages here. If we're looking at it in terms of health, then fruit juice contributes, and it's only once a day, and we hope we'll finish off with a glass of water to rinse the sugars and acid off their teeth. But if we're looking at it from the FSA traffic light guide, it will come in as red on sugars, which do have this dichotomy of recommendations at the moment, and I think that's where that problem sometimes lies.
They've been randomised, double double-blind challenge studies looking at people who report having migraine, giving them sweeteners, showed no effect whatsoever. The problem is with headaches, they're very subjective. And it's funny, if you ask people about side effects of anything, it tends to be headaches or gastrointestinal complaints people complain about. There isn't anything consistent. There's no reason to believe why sweeteners would cause headaches, because the levels you get of the chemicals in the blood are so low, they're unlikely to elicit any physiological effect. What normally causes headache is things like vasodilation, changes in fluid, so dehydration will give you a headache. And what may cause headache in some people if they've got caffeine sensitivity. So in some drinks, caffeine may trigger a headache in some people. Some people don't. So they get a headache like tea, so coffee or tea late at night, for example.
I think it's a difficult question. I mean, the sort of official line from dietitians is that people with diabetes don't have to restrict their sugar intake. But of course, if you take sucrose as a drink or as a snack, you are likely to get a rapid rise in blood glucose. It is a high glycemic food. And I think that there is a substantial body of opinion of evidence that low glycemic diets will help to improve overall glycemic control in diabetes. And I think, therefore, while on the one hand, I think diabetes organisations are trying to not stigmatise patients by saying that any diet, that people with diabetes should have an inherently different diet to people who are not diabetic, the argument that I would make is that low glycemic index diets are probably particularly well suited to the diabetic patient who is trying to control particularly postprandial glucose rises. And that actually is a growing, I think is a growing issue for trying to achieve good control in people with diabetes, because we know that interventions from a number of trials recently that try and push overall blood glucose levels lower and lower, particularly fasting glucose, can be associated with harm because of the risks of hypoglycemia. So I think that if we are looking to try and improve overall blood glucose control, it is those postprandial rises that now is becoming perhaps a more important target. And clearly, any low glycemic index food or drink would be advantageous, and that would obviously include non-nutritive sweetened drinks.
Well, my understanding of the labelling legislation is such that obviously most products do have to be labelled if they contain sweeteners. I think, as Tom said, sometimes there are challenges in terms of space available for labelling. So I think as a case I'm concerned about if a particular product has a sweetener or not, you really do need to look at the label, or perhaps even before you go to the supermarket, perhaps get on the internet, because that's where most consumers seem to be getting the information that they trust, and maybe do a bit of research. But products will be labelled if they contain a sweetener.
Well, the approval does vary across the world depending on whether new compounds have been accepted by national regulatory authorities or not. But the first question was, is any sweetener banned in the USA? And of course,
on cyclamate, which was banned in 1969, right in the middle of my own PhD on cyclamate. And that might have biased my views about regulatory toxicology, I don't know. It was banned in 1969 as a result of a study which was, in hindsight, a poorly designed study where rats were given 5 or 10% of a mixture of sodium saccharin and sodium cyclamate. And half the animals were then given the metabolite of cyclamate, cyclohexylamine, on top. So it's a real cocktail study. And they found an increased incidence of bladder tumours in male rats. We then now know, of course, that there's an increased incidence of bladder tumours in male rats, as I said earlier, with sodium saccharin, and you get the same effects in the urinary bladder with other sodium salts. So sodium cyclamate really took the can, because it was new, because it was only discovered in 1955. The saccharin had been discovered in 1890 or whenever it was, So that was the new one, it had to be responsible, so it's banned in the USA, UK, Sweden, other European countries, some other European countries, but not all. In fact, some countries, Germany for example, did not accept that weak evidence for showing that it was cyclamate which was the cause of aging. And since then there has been a study with calcium cyclamate which did not find bladder cancer, so it was banned. It has not been reintroduced in America yet. I think, I don't know whether that is, it's a difficult one because the safety of cyclamate depends on how you assess its metabolite, cyclohexylamine, which is why the issue with that. But I suspect that in America it may well be the fear of litigation by the manufacturers of products that had to be withdrawn from the market when cyclamate was banned. If they were to come in and accept it, actually it was a terrible mistake and a bad decision. It might well be litigious activity to try and recoup some of the losses. I think especially the soft fruit packages lost a lot of money when cyclamate was banned. I think that's the only one that has been banned. They tried to ban saccharin, but that would have been the only one that left. And the industry had to mount this very expensive defence and also a scientific understanding of what was the mechanism of the bladder cancers with saccharin. Of course, then showed they weren't relevant to humans. In the meantime, there was legislation trying to be enacted to ban it.
There are two new classes of anti-diabetic or anti-hypoglycemic drugs, both of which work by increasing the level of the hormone glucagon-like peptide 1 that's secreted from the gut. And GLP-1 is one of these incretin hormones that leads to an increased release of insulin. The hormone is normally degraded very rapidly, and the gliptins are a class of drugs which belong to DPP-4 inhibitors and prevent the breakdown so that you get higher levels of GLP-1. You can also inject GLP-1 directly as either exenatide, Byetta, or as Victoza, which is liraglutide. So, sorry, it was a long starting point. The point about these drugs are that certainly with very high levels of GLP-1 when you inject it, you get an effect that delays gastric emptying, can cause slight nausea, and it also produces weight loss. With the gliptins, you don't get weight loss, but they're weight neutral. So, with that background, I'm not sure that I really know of any particular interaction with specific foodstuffs, but
well, there is evidence recently of sweet taste receptors on the duodenal cells, and they of course do cause a stimulation for GLP-1. So there is a hypothetical mechanism, but there has been a study using high doses of sucralose, an intense sweetener, which of course does bind to those sweet taste receptors, not only on the tongue, but in the intestine. And they showed that in fact you do not get the nicotine, and you do not get the insulin response in relation to those. So the sweet taste receptor is the initial step in that cascade, if you like, and that initial step seems to be reactive with intense sweetness, but you don't get the downstream effects. Yes, because based on animal studies, they have to have the necessary reproductive toxicity studies, which is in rats, mice, and also in rabbits, which is necessary to potential effect on developing fetuses. So they are safe.
And if people are carriers for female ketonuria, the carrier rate is about 100, but you have to be homozygous to get female ketonuria, so about 1 in 10,000 children are born with female ketonuria and have to restrict their intake of female alanine, so tetraprotein intake for life. And those concerns were raised if you ate additional sources of female ketonuria during pregnancy and you had a fetus that might have female ketonuria, what would the impact be? Well, it's actually the amount of female alanine you get in, say, a glass of artificial cream is trivial compared to what you get in a glass of milk. So although it's a source of female alanine, it's not at a level that would cause any concern or lead to elevations in female alanine. So that is